Hello, my name is Alec Wimbish, and my speech is entitled GOAT, or the greatest of all time. The purpose of this speech is to give you a feel as to what I see, or as to really what I hear, that makes Sean Carter, aka Jay Z, the greatest rapper ever. One of the factors that make Jay Z the greatest is his image. See, in the rap game, your image plays a huge part in your longevity and relevancy of your career. Jay Z is one of the few, if not the only rapper alive who can actually self acclaim the position of GOAT. He's been in the game for well over 20 years, which automatically puts him up there because staying relevant in an ever expanding genre isn't easy at all. In a career builder interview, which his name implies helps people build their careers, a man by the name of Anthony Belderrama stated that I didn't doubt Jay Z was a prime example of success. His picture might as well be next to the Wikipedia entry on living the dream. Now, you might just be asking yourself, well, who is Anthony to me? See, what I just stated came from a person whose job it is to help people live their dreams and become what they want to become on a daily basis. Now, even if this statement didn't come from a person such as Anthony, it would still mean something. It would mean something because that person is holding Jay Z in such high regards, it's to the point that he's idolizing him. Now that we've established that image has a large contribution into the claim of greatest of all time, I'll move on to my next factor, which might just be the most important. One of the most important factors is just a simple question: is your music good? The quality of one's music is an obvious factor in a claim for being the greatest. One factor in judging quality is Billboard. Billboard is an American music magazine which maintains several internationally recognized record charts. He has 13 number one albums on the chart. This is the most as a solo artist in music history. An obvious factor is, of course, record sales. Jay Z's Reasonable Doubt was his debut album back in 1996, selling 90,000 copies in his first week. That's right, 90,000 copies. See, artists struggle to reach even 30,000 copies, let alone 90. The Blueprint 3 sold over 476,000 copies in its first week, and his latest album, Magna Carta Holy Grail, sold over 572,000 in its first week. This album is regarded as one of his best works due to the album's mafioso themes and Carter's lyrics about his hustler lifestyle. You can hear this in songs like Can't Knock the Hustle, Politics as Usual, Brooklyn's Finest, and Dead Presidents. Reasonable Doubt is a critically acclaimed double platinum album, and as of today, this record continues to please listeners, and now it has sold over 1.5 million copies. The reason why I chose Reasonable Doubt as an example isn't just because people call it his quote unquote best work or just for the sake of me being able to throw statistics your way. I truly love this album, and it has a strong sense of nostalgia behind it. This sense of nostalgia comes from my big brother. My big brother's name is Brian, and Brian's 12 years older than me, so growing up with him was obviously kind of complicated due to the huge age difference. The only thing we really had to bond over was music. He taught me how to play drums, he taught me all about hip hop, rap, and everything. So at the time, he had just bought Reasonable Doubt, and I'll never forget it because I think that's when we really started experiencing brotherly love, or whatever you want to call it. So whenever I listen to this, I always think about him and I always have to give him a call. Within the past 2 years, Jay has proven himself to be a persistent figure in hip hop. On July 8th, 2013, he released his 12th studio album entitled Magna Carta Holy Grail. Magna Carta obtained platinum status the same day and double platinum status 2 months later. Zach O'Malley Greenberg, a writer from Forbes magazine, quotes that on his solo Magna Carta tour, Jay-Z's nightly grosses typically fell in between $750,000 to $1.2 million. Of course, one of the man's favorite lines is, numbers don't lie. As I stated before, Reasonable Doubt is a double platinum album. Double platinum means that your album's numbers have managed to sell 2 million copies. And as a matter of fact, Reasonable Doubt is over halfway there to being quadruple platinum, a feat that hasn't even been reached by the Beatles. In the chart on the right, you can see the record sales of three rappers. Three rappers who are always missing the barbershop talk of who's the best. I've picked Eminem, Nas, and of course Jay-Z. The albums I've chosen are Reasonable Doubt, Relapse by Eminem, and Illmatic by Nas. These albums are regarded as the artist's best pieces of work. Reasonable Doubt has sold over 2.25 million copies. Relapse has sold 1.9 million and Illmatic 1.5 million. I've pitted Hove against two rappers, well, two top contenders really, in a claim for being the greatest of all time. People always talk about the milestones that Eminem have broken, but that means nothing simply because Eminem is overrated. Now, you might not agree with the rappers I've chosen to go against Hove. People might just say, well, why not Biggie or Tupac? And here's why. As an avid hip hop listener, I always take into consideration the factors that makes you the best. Yes, Biggie and Tupac were very talented artists, but did they really contribute to the game? When you hear current rappers talk about their inspirations, you always hear Jay-Z, Biggie, or Pop. When I listen to Biggie and Pac's music, I don't feel anything behind it. I'm not moved by their lyrical content at all. I feel as though these men are viewed as legends simply because of their untimely deaths. They were both in their prime and on the road to making millions. Unfortunately, they were both taken out as quote unquote real G's. Since they were taken out in this manner, are people just hyping them up to honor their legacies? With that being said, I'll move on to the final leg of my project. Legacy. Hove's wordplay, lyricism, and subject matter have influenced many, many people. Coleman Foley from CORE states that Jay manages to talk about injustice and ghetto issues without being preachy or boring. This coincides with what I said about Biggie and Pac not being able to move me with their music. Also from CORE, Derek Oswade claims that his excellent lyrics, flow and memory aside, he backed up his raps about accomplishments and socioeconomic skill with real-life results. This ties in with Jay's mafioso themes. He influenced people to always be dedicated no matter what. This comes from his rags to riches upbringing. With this being said, Aaron Ellis suggests that he's a hustler in every sense of the word, and his hardcore work ethic has brought him success in every area in which he has applied himself. After everything I've presented you with, you should be able to see where I'm coming from. It isn't hard to say that Jay-Z is undeniably the greatest rapper